looks like there may be another serious setback at the damaged Fukushima nuclear plant. Let's get the latest now from Paula Hancox. She joins us live from Tokyo. Paula.
Hello, Natalie. Well, we are getting word of radiation spikes in the number 2 reactor and also in seawater. Let's start at the Fukushima nuclear plant first of all. This is information coming from TEPCO, who's in charge of the plant, and also Japan's Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency, saying that the radiation spike is in the turbine building of reactor 2. There is water pooled in that particular basement, and this is where they're taking the radiation levels from. Now, we understand that there is the presence of iodine 134. Now, the significance of this is that this iodine 134 is created during the fission process, and also it, in theory, it should have a half-life of less than an hour, so that means that it should become less and less as time goes on. But what we're seeing is that it is spiked, and so of course the concern for officials is that it could have come from the reactor core. There could be a leak, there could be some way that it is coming out from the reactor core. At this point they don't know exactly how it is happening, but the levels that they have given us would indicate that these levels are 10 million times higher than you would ordinarily see on a normal day in this cooling system. So certainly that's something that officials are looking into at this point. Obviously no workers are going into the basements at this point in reactors 2 or 3. Radiation levels are simply too high for them to get in there and try and do any kind of work. Also, I mentioned the seawater. They have fresh levels of radiation. Remember, on Friday it was 1,200 times higher than it should have been, about 300 metres off the coast where the Fukushima nuclear plant is. They now believe it's around 1,800 times higher. Now, according to Japan's Nuclear Safety Agency, they say, yes, of course, they are concerned about these levels, but they're insisting at this point that they don't believe there's any danger to health. Natalie?
Yes, but clearly it does seem setback after setback, Paula, and the government has expressed frustration with the power company about not being more forthcoming. What is the latest from the government as far as what's not happening with successes at the plant?
Well, we have heard government calls for TEPCO to be open, to be transparent, to give more information so that they don't lose the public's trust. And over the days, we have seen some conflicting information from either the nuclear agency or TEPCO itself. So it's very difficult to collate this information and find out exactly what's going on. So, of course, that would be more alarming for the public. This is what the government's trying to push TEPCO to do, is being very open and transparent. Now, we did hear from one official from the nuclear agency on Saturday saying that they believe things weren't getting worse. They didn't say they believe things were getting better, but obviously today we are seeing those radiation spikes.
And has the evacuation area been extended since all of this has been happening?
Well, that was extended a couple of days ago. Obviously, the 20-kilometre evacuation zone has been in place for some time. The government decided that there would be an extra 10 kilometres, so up to 30 kilometres around the nuclear plant, which before was suggested stay indoors. They then made that a voluntary evacuation, and they helped people to evacuate that area if they wanted. That hasn't been made officially that you have to evacuate at this point, but obviously that is an ongoing thing that the government should be looking at.